the travel magazine, we'll take an explorer's cruise around Cape Horn. So welcome to South America.
With the 20th century war going on just outside our windows. Here are we, a remote community with Exocets, Sidewinders, Mirage fighters, Harriers, all the latest technology of the 20th century happening here in the Falklands. It was very hard to adjust to it.
Navigating the world began when Europe entered its golden age in the 16th century. Today, almost 5 centuries later, we are retracing voyages of early navigators around the colossal continent of South America. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer.
And I'm Mieke de Boer, and welcome to this special edition of the Travel Magazine.
Ushuaia is at the end of the earth, and there are many important names that surround our place, like Beagle Channel, Cape Horn, Magellan Strait, Drake Passage. We are close to Antarctica, so the people come here trying to find the end of the world.
Join us as we board one of Holland America's elegant ships and explore exotic ports such as Rio de Janeiro, Montevideo, Buenos Aires, the Falkland Islands, around Cape Horn, through the Straits of Magellan to Valparaiso and Santiago, Chile. Our cruise begins in Rio de Janeiro.
The mountain where the Christ statue, Christ the Redeemer, is located is called Corcovado, or humpback, if you want to translate the word into English. And it commemorates the independence out of Portuguese rule from Brazil. When the first explorers came to the area, they thought they actually had arrived to a river. That's where the term Rio comes from, which means river. And they arrived in January, and that's where Janeiro came from. So it's Rio de Janeiro, or River of January. The city of Rio de Janeiro is located in the Bay of Guanabara. Sugarloaf Mountain will be a granite peak that comes right out of the beach areas of Rio de Janeiro, which are pretty impressive because you have to take 2 cable cars to go from one side to the other, where you go officially to the highest part of Sugarloaf. And it has the most beautiful view that you can ever visualize of the city of Rio de Janeiro. Copacabana is a humongous beach. It's actually very, very long, a lot longer than we visualize it to be. It's pretty impressive because of the quantity of hotels and buildings right in front of the beach.
May I present Captain Edward Van Zaan?
We are delighted to be on Holland America.
It's very nice to you. Nice to have you on board. Nice to see you this evening. Good evening and welcome on board. Nice to see you. Welcome on board.
Our ship leaves Rio de Janeiro with the sounds of South America. Our first port of call is Montevideo, Uruguay. Montevideo is charming and inviting, with carefully preserved cobblestone streets, whitewashed colonial buildings, and avenues lined with monuments depicting great figures of Uruguay's past.
This is the Independence Square with a monument to our national hero, General Jose Artigas, who gave us the independence from Spain.
What year did that happen?
But that happened in 1830. We were independent in that year.
Art is an important expression for the people of Montevideo. The city is filled with open-air galleries where talented artists can display their work. When we return, we'll take you to the birthplace of the tango and visit the Falkland Islands.
This is beautiful. We will be back with more of South America just after this. Oh!
Our next port of call is Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires is the heart of Argentina, a city of sophistication, elegance, and home to 1/3 of Argentina's population. It is often called the Paris of South America. The old port area called La Boca is where the tango was born.
Tell me, Maria, why is the tango so
famous? Well, when the immigrants arrived here, they used to live all together in these houses, low-cost houses. To be honest, one family rent only one room in a house, so all the immigrants live all together and they start sharing the culture, you know. And the result of the mix of this culture was our typical music, the tango.
Tango.
It's very sad and it's the melancholic expression of the immigrants, the tango. You know.
And that made this place very famous.
Smell. Could you smell?
Yeah.
You can smell tango everywhere.
Oh, is that the smell of tango?
Yes, of course, because the tango was born here in this area. In
I'm
the south.
smelling this, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Can you feel?
From the balconies of La Boca to the terraces of Casa Rosada, the opulent presidential building. It is from this balcony that thousands of supporters cheered General Perón and his indelible wife, Evita. Plaza de Mayo is the heart of the city's turbulent and political history.
You know, this cruise is a way to explore South America.
You know, that's how they did it 400 or 500 years ago. And Holland America is taking us right around South America. Here's a map. Starting off in Rio, which you can't see, 2 days at sea to Montevideo, overnight to Buenos Aires, then 2 days at sea and off to, they call it Malvina Islands here, of course, but the Falkland Islands, then on to Punta Arenas, Puerto Montt, Valparaiso, and Santiago, Chile, and then home again.
Do you think this is going to be a rough sea?
Not at all.
Oh,
and you know what, 400 or 500 years ago, I'm sure they got seasick, but not on a ship with stabilizers.
Oh.
Our explorer's cruise continues. Everything is perfect, from the fresh daily picked flowers to the 5-star service. Shopping is fashionable and diverse, and on board you can even shop for that perfect souvenir. Our cruise continues to the Falkland Islands, a remote archipelago that is still, after 400 years, administered by the British.
You know, we're a small, faraway place, and we seem to be caught up in all sorts of history, from discovery through to world wars, and of course we've got our political history as well.
Why the war? What happened?
I think that the Argentines have always had a nationalistic pride in wanting to have the Falkland Islands, and in 1982 we were a very good excuse for Argentina to get out of its political and economic shambles at that time, to direct the attention of the country towards the Falklands, and for a while the country was united. And in a paradoxical way, that war was beneficial to both sides, in as much as that it gave us protection and security, and for the first time in many years it gave Argentina democracy. But it was tragic to think that so many people had to give their lives in order to achieve this. And to live here at that time was very difficult, because when the Argentines invaded, they imagined that we would be fellow countrymen with some sort of a Latin affinity, but of course there's nothing Latin about the place at all. There's more to the Falklands than a war and sheep farming.
Natural beauty abounds on these islands, where you come face to face with a colony of jackass penguins. Colonel James Reed, the originator and well-known lecturer, speaks about the flagship Forum series.
I mentioned to you at the start that this is a unique Holland America offering. Unique because we try to do several things of importance. We try to provide you with a sense of the Gestalt, that German word that means the sum total of all the places that you go to. And so we try to link the past with the present, and to tie in a little bit of architecture, as we saw in Buenos Aires, a little bit of politics and diplomacy, as we saw in the Falkland Islands.
Cruising around Cape Horn, the continent's southernmost tip is identified by the well-known Albatross Monument, a treacherous waterway feared by many explorers in the past. There is never a dull moment on board, and you can enjoy some of the finest entertainment. When we return, the mysterious Magellan Strait. Explore the end of the world, Ushuaia, Argentina. And join us as we saddle up for an authentic Chilean rodeo and enjoy the dessert extravaganza. Cruising through the Magellan Strait, our ship sets course for the city of Ushuaia, the capital of Tierra del Fuego. Ushuaia is known as the southernmost city in the world.
Ushuaia is at the end of the earth, and there are many important names that surround our place, like Beagle Channel, Cape Horn, Magellan Strait, Drake Passage. We are close to Antarctica, so the people come here trying to find the end of the world. The name of this channel is Beagle because of a ship, her majestic ship, the Beagle, that was a ship that came with Fitzroy in 1830 and discovered this channel. almost all the people that come to Ushuaia go to visit the Beagle Channel. That is quite famous. We see a lot of wildlife in the Beagle Channel. There are albatrosses, fur seals, sea lions, very interesting animals to see.
Far from the days of being a penal colony, today's Ushuaia is home to over 40,000 inhabitants. People travel thousands of miles to discover the mystical natural beauty and to catch a glimpse of the end of the world. As you look out onto the fascinating landscape, you can still imagine the great explorers of centuries ago.
The Straits of Magellan are characterized by the very narrow fjords, of which you have small little ways to get to different locations, which are glacially carved by glaciers that have been retrieving or receding during the years out of many glacial periods that we've actually experienced.
degrees per minute, new course 010.
10 degrees per minute, 010.
Our ship sets course for the most southern port of Chile, Punta Arenas, meaning Sandy Point. Punta Arenas is located on the Straits of Magellan. Today, with a population of 110,000, Punta Arenas has become a well-known fishing port.
This is a very important square because it's the first place really where we build the city. So the city is just divided in two sides, the south and the north, and this square divides the city in two. In this square we have a principal monument of Hernando de Magallanes. Hernando de Magallanes was a Portuguese that was the first man who came to this area, and now we have this monument where it includes the Indians of this area.
So what is the story on the Indian, and why do you have to touch his toe?
Well, normally history says that when you come to Punta Arenas, you have to touch the Indian foot because you are going to return to this land. That's the truth about it.
The California gold rush nurtured the port of Punta Arenas, which further developed into the wool and sheep industry in the late 19th century.
Sheep is the most important thing in this region because estancias live most of the sheep. We have one type of sheep that it's called Corriedale. It's a very strong sheep, short legs, but especially prepared for this type of weather.
Are you bearing a whole sheep today?
Only half of a sheep.
Only half of a sheep. Nothing is more rewarding than after a long day of exploring than the spectacular dessert extravaganza prepared by culinary award-winning chefs. The fishing port of Puerto Montt, our next destination, marks the official end of the beautiful lake district of southern Chile.
Well, Puerto Montt is a fisherman's village. It's a beautiful place that has the largest handicraft market of the country. Osorno is one of the dormant volcanoes that we have. Chile has a large range of active volcanoes as well. Osorno is probably one of the most visited places in the area because of its beauty. This is the All Saints Lake or Emerald Lake. You see the beauty of the color of the waters. This is like the northern boundary of Patagonia. We have lakes everywhere, beautiful little towns, villages all over the area.
Our final port of call is Valparaiso. The enchanting city of Santiago has become famous for its indelible and stunning countryside, made famous for its authentic Chilean haciendas. Just 2 hours from Santiago is the classic and alluring Hacienda Las Lingas, a ranch that has been in the same family for over 4 centuries and is valued as a historical monument. The ranch gives you the opportunity to take part in the traditional Chilean rodeo.
What we do here is that we let a calf go in the ring, then we have to guide it with 2 horses along the walls to each padded area. Once the calf gets to the padded area, we're going to turn it around. Now, the better position you turn it around and the further back you turn the calf around, the more points you get. You see they're guiding the calf around the ring. One horse guides, the other pushes. They're on the padded area, they have to stop them right there. Turn them around.
Well, that's it for our Explorers Cruise. I hope you've enjoyed South America as much as we have. I'm Jake de Boer.
And I'm Mieke de Boer, and join us again as we travel the world.